It's time for another edition of the Can I Retire Now podcast with your hosts, Nick Russell and Becky Wagoner. I'm your podcast producer, RJ Malik. And right now, here's Nick and Becky.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Can I Retire Now? I'm Nick Russell. That's Becky Wagoner.
Hello.
There she is, my beautiful wife. All right. Well, we're quickly getting into the end of the year. And so I think obviously, end of the year tends to be a very expensive time for people financially.
It is very expensive.
There's a lot of pressure to spend money, host, gift, all these kinds of things. So I thought it'd be a good time to allow the leader in our household who handles
Chief spender.
The chief spend. I actually wasn't the direction I was going to go, but you are definitely the gift buyer, the host, the planner,
the holiday maker.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity for you to maybe share some thoughts on how we kind of do stuff at home, how maybe some issues people tend to run into this time of year. So I'm going to sit back like all the other listeners and just enjoy.
Like you do during the holidays.
Like I do during the holidays.
Yeah. I feel like there should be holiday music like bum, 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 bum. No.
Is that holiday music?
That's from Elf, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I should have brought my jingle bells. We
yeah.
could jingle.
Yeah. All right. So during the holidays, since this is about finances, this is going to be a little bit about how to approach your holiday spending. And I know there's a million articles and there's a million ways to approach this. So of course, this is all just from our perspective on how we think holidays should be managed. And of course, you do what works for you. But if you're up for some new ideas, here we go.
Okay.
So as Nick said, holidays, they're just an expensive time of year. And I think everyone thinks, oh, yeah, because you travel and you buy gifts. But there's so many like sneaky expenses, right?
Well, I definitely thought about traveling and gifts because that's like in our future.
Yeah. So but then you tend to buy like the fancy food this time of year, have the big meals. So like your grocery bills get higher.
And more food, I think, in general.
Yeah.
Right?
And commercialism is like a all-time high, right? So like you think you have to buy new decorations. I mean, everyone loves a trip to Home Goods, right? And like they're pushing this year, it's Ralph Lauren Christmas. You probably don't know this, but like,
I have no idea.
Yeah, so the influencers pick a theme every year to get you to buy more stuff, obviously. Okay. So like decorations come into play. Your electric bill goes up because you got lights on the house. You got all kinds of like sneaky.
I didn't think of that.
Sneaky things that when you actually add it all up, you come out in January in a daze. You're like, what just happened? Sometimes, unless you're prepared, unless you think things through.
Well, we like being prepared.
Yes, we do.
So how do we?
We're not perfect, but but there are a lot of things. So in holidays, there's literal influencing on spending this time of year too.
You mean like social media?
Social media. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And probably just in general, social pressure.
Yeah, you got to buy a new outfit for every freaking party or whatever, which you don't have to do, but they want you to do. Yeah. So the influencers. Okay. In order to get that kind of under wraps or at least have a plan for it, you want a plan that feels supportive rather than restrictive, right? So instead of saying like, this is my absolute maximum budget, something that I read about when I was researching for this episode that felt really good is to ask what of these categories brings you the most joy, right? So Is it hosting? Is it giving gifts? Is it traveling? And then prioritize your budget in that order.
Oh, I like that.
So instead of, you have this whole budget and instead of spending the majority of it on something that does not make you happy, but you feel obligated to do, instead reverse it. Like, what do you love to do? I love to cook. So I may prioritize a significant amount of our budget for hosting and cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
And not gifts per se.
Yeah, our daughter loves decorating.
Yep.
So lights, light shows, music, giant inflatables, all the things you love.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting.
A really good way to think about it, actually, as I think about it, if something doesn't, like you said, cooking and hosting, which I love, right? For me, the holidays are about being around people. I don't care if it's not on the day. Like it could be, it could be a different day. It could be like gifts. I'm the same way. I like giving gifts. I don't need to receive any gifts. Like I don't need a gift. Like I don't need to do that arbitrary gift giving with extended family and stuff. I'd rather just spend the time with them.
Yeah, yeah. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, is to assign your budget based on your values.
Okay.
So, and budget amounts based on categories and values.
So can I ask about budget? Like what a budget should be? Is that on?
I mean, that's a personal thing and really what you want to spend. But I read, I think on Forbes.com, they actually recommend starting with 1% of your annual income.
1% of your annual income
is a good place to start and see if that feels good for your holiday spending.
Let's say you have a married couple makes $70,000, $80,000, so $150,000. 1% is $1,500.
Yeah.
Feels like a good amount to spend.
It does. I mean, and it can get tight, right, if you travel. Yeah. But if that's what you want to do, then maybe you travel to a family's house so you don't have the hotel bill or whatever. So, but that's a good way to keep it in check and start there and see if that feels good to you.
Okay. I like that.
And then, of course, build in flexibility. Again, this is about making it work for you. You don't want to feel restricted or sad halfway through your holidays. So build in a buffer. Build in 5 to 10% in case things come up. Everything comes up, right? There's always like the extra host gift you have to buy, or, something happens. So during travel or anything like that, or someone shows up at your house and you're like, of course we have the gift for you.
I was going to say, and you just brought this up the other day, you were, and I don't know if we're not sponsored by them, but you were at Costco and you told me they already had like all like the nice like Christmas gifty things. That,
we buy for teacher gifts.
Yeah, I was going to say teacher gifts, host gifts. Somebody says, oh, come over for dinner. You want to bring something? Like they have those already done. You buy 4 or 5 of them, have them sit in the house. That way you have them.
Yeah.
And it's an affordable way to.
And it makes it feel like you can control what's happening instead of having like a frenzied mad dash.
Like, oh, crud, I got to go pick up something real quick because we're going to this party. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of it being supportive of the things you enjoy as opposed to restrictive, because that's kind of how I feel about budgeting in general. I think one of our first episodes on the podcast was about budgeting versus tracking expenses. And I like to have an idea of what the numbers are. And so we can build what works for us, as opposed to just starting with, I can only do this, because it immediately has like a negative internal feeling. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. And you mentioned this earlier, that you're not like a gift receiver, but you'd rather spend time with people. And so that's something that people talk about it all the time, like gifts that emphasize connection and experiences over cost, which is a good way to do it. And so a lot of time when you get to a certain stage in life, and either it's because you don't need it or you don't have the money for it, right? Like if we're just exchanging gifts, like why don't we just keep our own $50 and move on?
I was going to say
our lives.
And if we're exchanging cash or gift cards, I mean,
it's literal, just keep it in your pocket. An Italian
from the Northeast, everybody was like handing cash to each other. And I'm like, if I give you $50 and you give me $50 and I give them $50 and they give it to you, we're just exchanging our money around.
Yeah.
Let's just all sit and like play cards and hang out.
Exactly. And this isn't a new idea, by the way, but I like the ideas of gifting like favors. Like, I'm going to help you plant your garden in the spring. You know what I mean? Or you come over and help me like paint this room that I need help with, which is time and a gift, really. 1 day of handyman work at your parents' house or something like that.
Yeah. I was thinking one year, didn't we go down to your parents around the holidays and do their bathroom, like install the flooring and stuff? And then I even think with like neighbors. Like, we're really friendly with some of the other couples in our neighborhood, and one just had a baby and everybody's got stuff going on. It'd be like, I'm happy to come over and like help you with a project.
And if you are a younger person and you have younger kids, something, instead of like bringing over this token bottle of wine when you have dinner with each other, which you can bring, doesn't matter, like exchange childcare time. Like something I would have loved is like, I will watch your kids so you can go Christmas shopping this weekend, and then let's swap it next weekend.
Oh my God, what a great. And I guess, I mean, again, I came into our daughter's life, she was already 4, so it was kind of past most of the babysitting. of like, newborn
But I
stuff.
mean,
But yeah, I mean, could you imagine like going to our next door neighbors and saying, "Hey, we'll watch the baby. Go have a date night. Like, go relax." And like, what a great gift.
yeah,
Right?
and you can do it ahead of time, like I said, for gift shopping because that's something that you can't do with your kids, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to pay a babysitter and you can't take off work to go do it necessarily.
That's
So
such a cool idea.
something like that. A good old fashioned coupon book for ice cream dates or movie nights together or, a round of golf or something like that
Yeah.
that you both enjoy is a good time. Teaching family recipes, like if you have grandchildren or something like that, it's like, come over, I'm going to teach you the sauce recipe. You know what I mean?
And I remember you doing like the ice cream domes and stuff with your nephews and nieces and stuff. And that, even to this day, like is still impactful for them. They look at the pictures, they talk
Mhm.
about it, and being able to share some of that stuff.
Yeah, so spend some time, make a really cool graphic or drawing with whatever you have and make it a coupon book.
I think about my Aunt Anne's crumb cake recipe. I remember when she gave me that family recipe
Yeah.
so that, well, I could have this beautiful woman that I was dating at the time make it for me because I'm not the best baker, but now she's no longer with us, and that I love that that's still in the family, that like now I can make that.
Yeah, so
Or
spend time with those people.
that you can make that.
Well, yeah. Learning
family.
those recipes. And then, the other one that is, it can be whatever budget you have, but is always a hit, really all ages. Like I would take this, is some kind of like fun way to gift literal dollar bills, right? So if you have, like, one year my mom taped 20 $1 bills end to end and rolled them up in an old tissue box so that like when you pulled them out, they just like kept coming.
Oh my God.
And it was like a really fun way to do that, or make it a scavenger hunt around the house.
I love that.
For little kids, and make them do the math or in the quarters. Or
do you remember when we gave our daughter the year she got her phone?
Well, yeah, I mean, a phone's an expensive gift,
Yeah,
but
she was getting we decided we were going to get her a phone, but we made it this whole like she had to solve a bunch
like
of
a
puzzles.
5-stage
puzzle with like a
scavenger
lock
hunt.
combination stuff to get into the box to even open it. And it was a more substantial gift. So she didn't get as many gifts that year.
Yeah.
Right. So that was like the gift. But we made it more of an experience.
Like 5 gifts.
Yeah. To like get through it. And it was fun. And so it was impactful for her regardless. But it wasn't like I opened this box, here it is. And then you're looking around going, oh, I guess Christmas morning's over. It wound up being a more substantial experience for her.
Yeah, or like individually wrap $10 bills in different boxes and just have your grandkids or your. I honestly, like, I would love it if I had 10 presents wrapped and they were each contained $1. I would still think that was really fun.
Ever tell you the year my dad wrapped rocks for me?
Yes.
He wrapped giant rocks in boxes to mislead me on what my gifts were. It was like, I guess I was a gift shaker when I was a kid. I'm go there and like play with the box. So he just wrap rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's not as fun, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't do that for your kids.
So those are all like
a good memory.
Experience-based, time together kind of situations that don't necessarily cost money, but I think anyone would like to receive or give. And so another way is if you might, I don't know how to say, well, just be open to having new ways to celebrate things. If the old ways are not possible financially. So adopt new ways to do things. So don't
feel obligated to do things that were like always been done if they're not as meaningful or financially as realistic.
Yeah. Something that your mom does, and I think is great, and we do to a certain extent.
I'm glad you followed up with it's great, because I thought you were going to go right in. It's something your mom does that really gets under my skin.
No. I mean, your mom does this, and I think it's important. She does not travel typically to see her grandkids, your niece and nephew, on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah.
It is more affordable for her to travel earlier in the month.
Yep.
And they celebrate Christmas together kind of earlier in the month and created new traditions to decorate the tree together and do everything like that.
Grandma goes up there and decorates the tree with the grandkids.
Not any less meaningful. It's just a different day. Which kind of leads me to the next thing is like we have to do that. So we don't always get Christmas Day with my daughter. She has another parent. And so we celebrate Christmas every other year, not on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And we do it early. And I go all out. Like I full on pretend it's Christmas Day and like make breakfast and stockings and do the whole day earlier because we have to. It's required for us. But if you can't travel, if it's prohibitive for you to travel or too expensive to do it on the actual holiday, just pick another day and go all out and do it.
And let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Right now, the government's shut down as we're talking today. And we just watched the news this morning about
gosh,
the flights being canceled and TSA agents
Yeah.
and air traffic control. So maybe traveling is not going to be a thing this year.
Yeah.
Where not everybody's going to, it's just going to be more stressful. So what a way to take a load off. And I would argue, I know we do it by necessity.
Yeah.
My mom does it by choice. But now my mom gets to spend the holidays with my sister and her grandkids, and then comes back here to Florida and gets to celebrate it with us.
Second time.
Second time. So now we celebrate Christmas. Now Christmas becomes like almost a week and a half of like, instead of one giant thing where it's just
overwhelming.
jam your face
exhausted.
with food. There's too many people in that, it's squeezed in the family room. Now it's like we get to just kind of celebrate the season.
Yeah.
Like over time. And I think financially it's a no-brainer for someone who's retired like my mom. And it's also, I mean, I love it. I love celebrating the holidays, even not on the day when we get to celebrate it with our daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we're also celebrating the holidays probably with your parents or my mom or something. It's great.
It is great. So that's a way if you're trying to save money specifically on travel or some other way. Another idea that I had, is open up your holiday meals to neighbors or anything like that, to help split, make it a potluck or something like that.
Oh, I love that.
Instead of everyone having groups of like 4 or 5, if there's a bunch of you, that are going to be at home and you'd rather be with someone, invite them over and split the dinner meal.
Now, it was family technically, but my cousins that when growing up lived kind of about a mile away. And we would always do Christmas Eve at their house. And it was a big group of people, like extended family and stuff. And then we would do Christmas at our house. And it was a little more modest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, which was nice. But imagine doing Christmas Eve, like with our friends.
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of friends getting together and just, we're all going to potluck Christmas Eve dinner or something. And like, it would be so fun and special. And for each couple or household, you don't have to make the whole dinner.
Yeah.
And I think what a fun experience, because then everybody can bring something that's unique. That they
and you learn about different foods. It's really fun.
Like was it your Aunt Chickie's tomato casserole thing?
Yeah.
Is now like an absolute fan favorite in my family.
Yes.
And we want it for Christmas now. We're gonna have it for Thanksgiving. You're gonna make it for Thanksgiving?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so and I would have never experienced that if you didn't bring that to the table. So I think that's an awesome idea.
Yep. And then these are simple ideas, but maybe you guys do hot chocolate and cider instead of cocktails. I mean, It's healthier, but also less expensive. You don't have to have the full bar set up for any, and this is for like parties and holiday meals.
Yeah. I mean, it's family friendly. So now if we're making hot chocolate for everybody, the kids can have it. If it's hot cider for everybody, the kids don't feel excluded from that.
Yep. And so that's something new. And then this is something that you taught me, and it's a good distraction. So if you can't travel and you find yourself alone on Christmas or not where you want to be, let's put it that way, it can be really hard to sit at home that day by yourself because there's like nothing on TV that you want to watch and no one's available and everything is shut down except the movies.
The movies.
So I didn't do this until I met Nick, and I think we've done this on Christmas and we've done it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was my go-to Thanksgiving move because I would travel for Christmas, but on Thanksgiving I would opt to just stay in town, and I was single most of those years, and so
Nick taught me how to do movie marathons at the movie theater, which is a good way to pass time and not like be so heavy in your own head.
Yeah.
So, and you can go during the day. Matinee tickets are a lot cheaper. So we usually pick 2 movies if we are unable to be with our daughter on Christmas Day or with family. There's a lot of reasons stuff like that happens. And so we pick 2 movies that sometimes are not holiday related at all.
No, you pick one, I pick one.
And we kill like at least half the day. And it's fun and it's distracting.
And honestly, you could throw a meal in the middle of that, like a nice modest meal somewhere while you're out. And like we did that last year, we did a movie, we did lunch, and then we did another movie.
Yep.
And I think that was on Thanksgiving. So like, then you come home and then there's a football game. I mean, there's 4 or 5 football games, but if you sit there all day and watch football, you're not a football fan. Yeah, it's a little much.
Yeah, or you sit there alone on Christmas morning. I've been there. It's not great. So find something distracting to do and be open to it.
you know what hits me? Because obviously you're talking about it from the years where, you know, our daughter was with her dad. But I think about clients of mine. We work with a lot of clients who are, get divorced later in life, or widowed, or just single, and now maybe you can't travel to see the kids, or the grandkids, whatever, and you're sitting there and you're twiddling your thumbs. What a nice opportunity to like grab a friend and just go and watch a movie.
The movies are open is the point.
And
guys.
they're more expensive than they used to be, like everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
But for, $25, you can see 2 movies.
Yeah.
And that's going to kill 4.5 hours of your day. And you're going to hopefully enjoy them.
And that's about just being open to new things,
Yeah.
and if you're every electric's gone up by like 25% this year.
Crazy.
So be open to just doing like that one big light on your house instead of the whole entire light display. Like there's a million little things to save money. But the point there is just to be willing to experience the holidays in a new way instead of locking yourself into something that maybe will not be good for you long-term financially.
Yeah.
So
how about gifting? Not presents. Because I feel it's also a good time of year where people also like gift more to, say, not-for-profits or charities. I would have to think, just like anything else, have an idea of what you want to give if you don't give throughout the year. And then just make sure that that's something that also fits. So it's another thing that you don't feel like a moral disconnect from what you want to do and what you can do. I think that's something that I see come up at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then kind of the last point here is, second to last point, I guess, is to have the thoughtful conversations with your family about money, not about and then not only about the budget and money and what's possible, is what actually is needed or appreciated. So again, instead of like exchanging the gift cards, like maybe someone really needs help with, grocery bills, or their younger family or something like that, or maybe they need help with a special dinner together, taking them out, something like that,
or let's
instead of
say
just performative things.
Yeah, let's say I'm thinking of like our nephew, graduate college, he's getting his first job, like probably would help to get like a Publix gift card.
Yeah.
More than a gift card to go buy new clothing.
Yeah.
Right. And so like we're giving him money that, well, first of all, a lot of gift cards just don't get used, but giving him something that we know he'll use because he's going to eat, right? As opposed to, hey, go buy yourself some new clothes at the mall or whatever.
Yeah. Or instead of trying to guess at something someone may like, this is a good grandparent tip, give whatever is in your budget to the kids' parents and ask them to put your name on a tag because they know what the kids want. You know what I mean? It's like, don't
better
try to buy
guessing.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than guessing. So.
I mean, honestly, I probably am already at a point where my nephew and niece were...
I mean, just send your sister, however much money and just say, can you put my name on a tag?
Yeah.
On something they'll like. I
mean, I don't know what they like. I don't see them all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
that's smart.
And all of this, of course, is in support of setting yourself up for a good future, right? So in doing all this, you want to start thinking about your 2026 goals, but don't call them resolutions.
Okay.
Don't do it, Nick.
I won't. I will. You'll never hear me say that term.
So planning ahead invites a little bit more of...
Wait, why can't I call it a resolution?
It lets you reflect on it, but resolutions tend to fizzle out really quickly, right? We all know that, right?
Yeah,
like by February, we're all like done. So when you think of it as a 2026 goal and not a 2026 resolution in terms of financial things, it gives you mentally like the whole 12 months to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Resolutions, I think, is just, it's hard.
I do feel like resolutions are like, I drew a line in the sand and then starting tomorrow, I'm going to the gym. Starting tomorrow, I'm doing this. And that's hard to create as far as a new habit.
And goals tend to be a positive mindset and resolutions tend to be guilt-driven.
Oh, you're right. Like very restrictive to like what you said before, as opposed to something you're experiencing over a period of time. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So
that's kind of it's a nice way to think about the holiday. And there are some of those things, like you said, that we've done in the past that I'll tell you, I don't miss, Thanksgiving, like as people know it, when like last year we went and did a double movie lunch. That was such a fun day. We had such a good time. There was no pressure. First of all, the roads are quiet. No one's out there. We were like 2 of like 4 people in the movie theater. It was really a great time. And we did that. So that also budgetarily. Christmas was something we weren't getting hit with Thanksgiving and Christmas, or Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas. We said, okay, well, we're going to prioritize Christmas. So we'll be a little more low key for Thanksgiving. And I think it worked really well for us. I don't feel like we lived without, right? We really enjoyed ourselves, and we'll do it again this year.
And why does all this kind of matter? I have a did you know?
Oh, okay.
So we're talking about gifts. A lot of this was about gifts. I mean, there's travel and meal and everything like that too. People are starting to call January Return-uary.
Return-uary.
Because of all the returned gifts that happen in January.
Okay.
Take a guess. What percentage of gifts are returned, were returned in 2024?
I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't know what percentage of gifts are gift cards, but I feel like it's more than ever.
Well, you can't return gift cards.
And you can't return them. So I'm factoring that into my math.
Oh, okay.
I would think my guess would have been 10% of gifts are returned. But maybe it's lower because you can't return gift cards. I don't know. I'm going to go with 10%. 1 out of every 10 gifts?
Higher.
Really?
17% of gifts are returned.
Almost 1 in 5.
Yeah. So if you're giving 5 gifts, 1 of them is not making the cut. So, I mean, that just goes to show how much are we just going through the motions a lot of time. And that's not because I'm assuming it's not because of a fit or something like that. But
you know what I just thought of? Kind of goes back to something you said earlier. I got you something for Christmas last year that you've gotten to enjoy all throughout the year.
Oh, my ice cream subscription.
Yeah.
It's the best.
There's a local ice cream place by our house that does a specialty ice cream that they don't sell in the store every month. And she gets a free pint of it. And it's just really unique flavors as the year has gone on. And every month she gets one. And then you get a t-shirt, you get a couple of things.
Yeah.
And for what it costs, it's essentially what I would spend on.
I would take that as my only gift.
Yeah. And you get that throughout the year too, which I think is, and we kind of alluded to, but I think is really special. And that's not something that gets returned because it's something that I know you like, and you kind of get the remembrance of it. I remember I bought those kit gifts for Leah for when she was younger.
The science thing.
Right. It was like a box subscription. And so instead of buying a whole year, I bought 3 months of it to see if she liked it. And then if she liked it, we just re-upped every 3 months. But it was something that monthly didn't cost that much. So paying it up front wasn't bad around the holidays budgetarily, but she again got to experience it throughout the year.
Yeah, those are good gifts.
Yeah.
So 17% of gifts, though, are returned. That amounted to, this is according to the National Retail Federation, $890 billion with a B in returns.
Billion?
That's how much Americans are spending that is getting returned.
Where's the math on this?
Okay.
$890 billion represents 17% of all gifts.
Yeah, I mean, we are shoveling out money. Okay, and if I don't appeal to your financial side, maybe I can appeal to your Save the Planet side. Okay.
Okay.
Of those returns, 8.4 billion pounds, literal weight of returns, end up in landfills because it can't be restocked. We're just spending money to make trash. You're so silent.
I'm looking at these numbers. This is awful.
That is the source for this was the State of Returns report from Optoro.com.
8.4 billion.
Yeah.
With a B billion.
Pounds
of returns wind up in landfills.
Yep.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to go back to the almost 900 billion in returned goods that represents less than 20% of all gifts. So 5 times that. It means we spend $4.5 trillion on gifts. Guys, relax. I mean, I love your friends, your family. I mean, yeah, but 4.5 trillion?
Yeah.
Trillion.
Yeah.
Did that word even exist when we were kids getting gifts at Christmas? Oh my God.
I don't know.
That is financially and eco unfriendly.
So I got the reports from the National Retail Federation, again, is where I got the link to the weight one.
Wow, you're not getting any gifts for Christmas, I'll tell you that. Whew. I'm going to help the landfills, and Becky's getting...
Save the planet.
Becky's getting
retire rich.
New socks and underwear.
Give hugs
That's
for
all
Christmas.
People get, yeah. Socks, underwear, and hugs. That's it. Christmas is done. Holiday season over.
Yeah.
Wow, that is... that's jarring. You should have started with that, because that makes the creating new habits and being a little more modest and a little more realistic.
Yeah.
Man, that really hits. That's a hell of a fact there, babe.
Yeah. So have the conversations with your family, with, whoever's involved, your partner or your kids or something like that, and really do mindful holidays so that you don't end up in returnuary,
returnuary,
regretting your choices.
Yeah.
So, and paying, we talked about debt last time, something like 30% of people go into debt for holidays and stuff like that, credit card debt. So, just think about it. And there's probably better ways that you can enjoy the holidays that don't impact your current or future financial situation.
Yeah. One of every 5-6 gifts gets returned. 900 billion in return.
You're floored, I can see.
I can't get over this. This is going to sit with me. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing all that, Becky. That was really, really interesting. But I think like you said, and you've said a couple of times, sharing this is not to say, oh, I should feel guilty and restrict myself for the holidays. I think it's just about being more thoughtful and mindful.
Yeah.
I think
spending money in a way that you feel good about and will continue to feel good about into the next year.
Correct. Yeah. If you prioritize the important thing for you is spending time with your family, then spend the money on travel. Get to your family, right? If you're a gifts person, if you're a things person, great. Spend your money on the things, right? We're more experienced people. So we try to spend money on things that we go and do. But yeah, wow. Very, very thoughtful. I like this. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. So if they have more questions about this, where can they find us, Becky?
sunrisewealthadvisors.com on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook.
So yeah, they can find us on our website. We have little little box down there. If you have questions, you can just send it. It comes right out to the team. Social media, like Becky said, and hey, if you're listening to this over the holidays, I wish everybody has a happy holiday and take some of these things into mind. And yeah, thanks for sharing all of this today, Becky.
Have a happy holidays, Nick.
Yeah, have a happy holidays to you too. I'll see you. I'll see you there.
Sounds
I think
good.
we have plans together. All right, we'll see you next time on Can I Retire Now?
Thanks, Nick. Looking forward to your next podcast, and thank you for listening to today's Can I Retire Now podcast. Until next time, for Nick and Becky, I'm RJ Malik.